right? The movie, we thought we were writing a drama that has some humorous moments in it, right? Like some lighter moments to kind of, but the laughs we get are way bigger than we thought, like way, way bigger than we thought.
It's great to meet you. We're Gracie and Nicole from As Seen on Screen. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
No, thank you. Thanks for doing it.
I want to start off by not necessarily asking you a question, but sharing a quote with you that really stuck with me through the film because I think what's so beautiful about Ashish's story is that it will connect and resonate with so many people on varying levels. And so there's a line when he's speaking to Claire in the restaurant where he says, "After school, you hit the real world. It feels like the moment I graduated, it hit me as hard as I could." And that resonated with me not only because I'm heading into my final year of university and Gracie graduated last year, but because I think it's one of those beautiful reminders that we're all on different paths and you don't always have to be on the same timing as other people in your life and your friends and your family. And I think you really beautifully portrayed that on the screen and represented that through your movie. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad it meant something to you. And yeah, it's something that I was thinking about a lot as I kind of got older and was trying to be a filmmaker. This idea of timelines and like when we're supposed to succeed or when we're supposed to figure our stuff out, right? And it really isn't about like hitting a specific milestone in your life. It's just kind of a journey and it's kind of a circle rather than getting to the top of something. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Exactly. To add on to that, this film is such a perfect blend of like the lengths we go to for our family while also still trying to stay true and find ourselves. So I'm wondering for you as a creative, how did you find that blend between these two things while still making sure that his story had a continuing storyline that people could connect to?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like I always felt like it's a time of our lives that really sticks with people as as they get older. It's a moment that like people don't forget as they get older. That moment where, they've graduated, school's in the rear view, you're supposed to know your next step, but there's no roadmap exactly as to how to build life as an adult, right? And then within the South Asian community, there's this added context of like family and loyalty to family. And so a lot of the stuff that I went through at that point in my life was a lot of the stuff in the movie is real. Like my dad was really diagnosed with Parkinson's disease around that time. And it came after my parents had split up, right? So there's this added question of like, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to take care of dad? That kind of stuff. So I felt like that was a good engine, but that's of course not the only thing that happens at that point in your life because I didn't know what my next steps were in my 20s and I was trying to figure out like how do you even be a film director. I ended up partying a lot and hanging out with my buddies a lot and all of that stuff. It feels like the last step before you've got to finally grow up, right? And so I felt like it was just a time in a life that a lot of people will remember and connect with. And I hadn't seen it done in movies in a while, so I think I was driven to do it for that reason. But I also hadn't seen it done from a South Asian context, right? Like South Asian films in the West don't often touch on like really basic, intimate, personal stuff. It's almost always about like a cultural clash or about an immigration story, which is great. Those stories are important too, but I felt like we were lacking just like a really basic, fun, intimate family and romance story that just happened to have a brown family at the center of it, right?
Something I love too about this film is how you represent Toronto and Scarborough and that surrounding area because I almost felt like I was walking through, just looking at my own eyes. Even the lighting felt so raw and it felt so honest on that level. So for you, which places or even cinematography aspects were important to include that ensured it represented Toronto and Scarborough in an authentic way to you on the screen?
It was really just places that I had from my own memory, right? So like that trip Ash takes downtown to come right at a coffee shop. That's something like everybody, not just from Scarborough, but from like Mississauga and Markham. This is something like so many of us go through. It's crazy how difficult it is to get downtown, even though it's actually really close, right? So I had to do that. I had to get on the RT, then get off the RT, then get on the subway, then come downtown. And it was just kind of after a while, it just became like a cinematic thing in my head. And I felt like it would be like a really cool opening sequence for the movie because it would resonate for so many people that live here, right? But really, it was just about treating all of the places that I have in my mind. And Adnan, my co-writer, also wrote a lot of the locations into the script. Um, it was just about treating them as honestly as possible, right? I'm really glad that people love the way the movie looks. It's a beautifully shot film by our cinematographer Peter Hadfield, but really our goal visually was to bring out the natural beauty of these spaces and just treat it as honestly as possible. The downtown parts, it's easy to make downtown look cool and look sexy, right? A lot of the bars we shot at, they have this vibe already, and we just kind of enhanced it a little bit. But Scarborough is a place that I think people don't connect it with beauty. And that's crazy to me because it is a gorgeous place, right? It's a place that has big open skies and beautiful landscapes. And even the hydrofields and stuff like that have this like amazing visual quality to them that we just kind of brought out without having to think about it too much.
Absolutely. There, when that one shot where Ash and Claire are talking by the water, by the lake, I just thought that was such a beautiful scene. I really loved. I mean, just looking out into that landscape is gorgeous. So that was so well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how many people don't know that that's there, right?
Yeah.
I love that you brought out TTC and getting to Toronto because Nicole's from Newmarket. I'm from Ajax. So when
Yeah,
we go to Toronto, it feels like a trek every time.
every time. Yeah,
It's worth it in the end.
for sure.
I saw that this was originally a short film that you directed and created in 2018. Shook obviously premiered at TIFF in 2024. So having it now be a feature film, what parts were you most excited to expand on or maybe add in that you didn't have the time to before?
I was really excited about the sort of romance between Ash and Claire. That's not in the short at all. The short is really just a scene. It's this kind of like a abbreviated version of the scene between the dad and Ash at the Hakka restaurant where he reveals the illness. But really, I was excited about because I knew I wanted the movie to be fun. We knew when we were writing it, we didn't want it to be a downer, in part because we were writing it at a time and kind of finishing at a time during the pandemic where even we didn't want to watch like serious stuff. We're like, we want to have fun. Um, but the other part is this may seem like a simple thing, but as I touched on earlier, like South Asian films and South Asian characters don't get to do the really basic fun stuff like dating or meeting a girl or like, a party film about like hanging out with the boys. Like a lot of the stuff that I think filmmakers, indie film is kind of synonymous for. It's the kind of thing that we rarely see from immigrant community filmmakers, right? And those stories are just as valuable as the sort of like richer, deeper, more serious stories about sort of cultural clashes and things like that. So I really was excited about making the film sort of lighter and funnier and for a bigger audience because the short is pretty serious. The short has like a dark, serious tone, in part because I needed to prove that I could make a drama after years in documentary. I needed a calling card, something that would prove to people that I could do this. So yeah, the Ash and Claire story was the most fun part to write and kind of expand on the short.
Definitely totally off topic, but I see you have the poster for your other feature film in the background. When are you getting
Yeah.
a Shook one put up?
Oh, pretty soon. I mean, like it's out there in the world now. I guess I've got to ask Elevation to print me one, but yeah, pretty soon.
Love that.
Can start a whole collection of posters going.
Yeah, yeah. My wife is planning like a wall of now that there's a few of them, we'll get a bunch of them in a row. So
Perfect. Love that. So much of this movie obviously, of course, focuses on Ash's personal growth and learning how to navigate through this new chapter in his life. So I'm curious for you, as an artist and a filmmaker, what is something you discovered about yourself and your work while writing and directing this film?
oh, that's a really good question. I think the biggest thing I learned is like how writing is a process that you kind of never really figure out. You know what I mean? It's like because movies take so long to make, by the time we'd finished making Shook, I felt like I was a better writer that hadn't written another script yet. You know what I mean? So by the time the movie came out, I felt like I was a better writer that now was looking at the movie with the lens of someone who's a few years older and who is kind of like this one feature script under their belt. So I think the biggest thing I learned is that like you've really kind of got to like honor the writing process as you make the movie. And that's what we did. I felt like we did a good job of that, but you can't be afraid to kind of go with whatever happens on set, the vibe. You can't kind of force the movie to be what you thought it was going to be. You've got to kind of accept what it is when you're shooting. And the main reason I'm saying that is because the movie turned out to be way funnier than we thought it was going to be. Right? The movie, we thought we were writing a drama that has some humorous moments in it, right? Like some lighter moments to kind of, but the laughs we get are way bigger than we thought, like way, way bigger than we thought. And that's a huge part of that is just like the vibes on set were really fun and the actors are really fun and they kept everything loose and light and their performances are so good, right? And so I think if I were a younger filmmaker, I would have probably tried to force the drama back into the movie and make it more serious. But really what I learned was that you can't really do that. You've got to just like honor the footage you've got. You've got to honor the process of making the movie, and not necessarily be like so strictly adhere to what you'd written originally or what you thought you'd written originally. So that was the biggest lesson was just like, yeah, let the movie be what it's going to be, go with that flow and it'll work out. Like it'll turn into something different, but maybe it'll turn into something even better, right?
Yeah, I think that's awesome advice because I think you can apply that too to so many parts of your life. I mean, I know I
Yeah.
definitely could roll with the punches a little better sometimes when it comes to work and different things. So I think that's an awesome lesson.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I think that is a theme in the film is like rolling with the punches, right? If things aren't working out, I think the main problem for Ash is that the life he has in his head isn't coming to fruition, and that's bothering him.
Yeah.
But really, I think becoming an adult is really understanding that like um just because things are different than you thought they would be doesn't mean they're bad, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
One of the things I love in film is the art of foreshadowing. I think it's such a big part of how people perceive a film as a whole. So I'm
Mm.
wondering, for you, is there something that viewers might not catch the first time watching, or that you think they should look out for that plays into this story?
Oh, I feel like, there's only a few people that have seen the film more than once because obviously it's played mostly film festivals up until now. But people who have seen the movie more than once, they tell me about the things they picked up on the second time. And I don't think I want to reveal them because I want people to watch the movie more than once. Hopefully in a theater, but if you don't watch it twice in a theater, you can watch it on Crave down the road when it comes out. But um I think great movies part of what makes movies great is that when you watch them again, you pick up on things that you just didn't pick up the first time, or things that you saw and kind of glanced over have a deeper meaning the second time, right? And so that's really what I feel like if you've the true sign that you've made a movie that's really good is that people want to watch it again and they get more out of it the second time, or they get something different out of it the second time. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Shook is a good enough movie for that. So I won't say anything specific. I just hope people give it a second view.
Definitely. I love all of the little intricacies that you can find that second time around.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah.
I know we're heading into the last minute or so here, but I wanted to ask you super quickly, a very Toronto-esque question back to the TTC. I was laughing at the scene when Ash and his friends missed that last subway train and they have
Yeah.
to take that like late night, middle of the night bus. Do you
Yeah.
have a TTC story that sticks with you? Because I feel like all of us commuters have that one memorable TTC or transit story that you're like, remember when that happened?
Oh man, there's so many. But I remember one where, oh, this is gross, but like there was someone who we were, at that time of night, most people are drunk or there are a lot of young people going home, and someone had thrown up in the back of the bus. And as the bus turned and swerved, everyone was trying to avoid the sort of like puke as it kind of like swiveled its way through the back of the bus, and everyone would like lift their feet up off the ground and stuff like that. And it almost became a game. That's a very gross story, but that's the one that sticks to my mind the most. Um,
No, it sounds right.
yeah,
It's
it's
so
funny.
bad.
Our costume designer William Ng, he's also from Toronto and around the same age as me, and he's a pretty big deal. And we didn't think we were going to get him for this movie, and we went on the interview with him on Zoom, and he had just read the script, and he basically opened the interview by telling us his like night bus stories, and then basically at the end of that story, he was like, "Yeah, I'll do this movie. I don't care what the budget is. Like, I want to do it." And I was like, "Whoa!" Right? So it's like I feel like everyone who's been on that bus, it's like burned into their memory, like on your deathbed, you're going to remember that bus. So
It
It just
really solidifies friendships, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Well, Amar, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate being able to chat with you about Shook, and congratulations on the film's upcoming release.
Thank you. Yeah. Please tell your friends and family to go watch it.
Absolutely.
100%.